All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm so excited to have these special guests on the call with me today, these mega leaders within It Works that have not only been around for seasons of crazy growth, but have been a part of this business through seasons of really lots of training and digging deep. And, hey, when things aren't cranking, what do we do to build and continue to create a significant residual income? And both of you ladies have done that. You've done it well, and you guys have both used this strategy of branding to set yourselves apart and continue to build your team and help layer that throughout your organizations. And so I pulled you guys in today because I wanted to take some time and love on our leaders and show them how we do this, because at the end of the day, while we reach out and we build our businesses through our hundreds list, there's going to be different seasons of our business where we need to get out there and build new and make new connections and build new relationships. So we're continuing to keep our hundreds list live and active. And so I brought you both on. I'm excited to have you here. Lauren, you're a triple diamond knocking on the door of presidential. Your team is just blowing up right now. I'm excited to have you on.
Thanks, Tammy. I'm excited too.
I've got a tickling in my throat. So, anyways, Lauren, what do you know about branding? I know you've dug real deep into this idea of branding yourself, and we always say people buy people, not products. And while at It Works, the formula that we offer with this amazing flagship ultimate body applicator that actually helps people see tightening, toning, and firming results in 45 minutes, people actually call us, and that is almost unheard of in this industry, and we are product-driven. Most companies, like It Works, are very much opportunity-driven. They're selling this opportunity to create wealth through leveraging and building a residual income. But at It Works, we have all of those at our fingertips, and so we're very lucky. But we still need to remember that people buy people, not products. And so, Lauren, how do you use that to build your business?
Well, there's a couple things, for everyone that's listening to this call, what I want you guys to really do is I want you to think back. I want you to think back to the day that you decided that It Works was for you and that you were going to join your business. And, when I think back to that, I was thinking about, my dreams, my goals, the people that I was going to add to my hundreds list, how I was going to get them to join the team. The one thing, though, that I can really promise you is that I was not thinking about my personal brand or my professional brand. And better yet, I think the better question was, did I even know what a personal or professional brand is? I want to give you a quick definition real quick of what a brand is. It's the marketing practice that identifies and differentiates a product from other products. So in our case, it differentiates other distributors from other distributors. So since I wasn't even thinking about brand awareness, branding myself, what a personal brand was, what a professional brand was, my social media wall in the beginning really looked a lot like this. A $500 image. And, who wants to make an extra $500 a month? Message me or comment below. It looked a little with maybe a before and after picture of the wrap, saying, "Do you believe these results? Message me or comment below if you want to try this." And, I'm going to a wrap party. Message me if you want to have one for me. And I would wait. And I would wait. And as a result of my posting, the interest was minimal. And I began to feel like a failure. What am I doing? It works for me. And so, I started to go to people's pages like Denise and Tammy, two of the top earners in our company. And I loved following their pages. I loved looking at Tammy's pages. I loved looking at, Denise's posts. And when I was looking at their posts, they were having the results in this business that I really wanted for myself. But my page looked nothing like their page. And that's when I realized that I had to really make a change and figure out what my brand was. Because my brand was hoping that I could post something and that, people would want to join my team. It was kind of doing as little work as possible, but trying to make as much money as I possibly could. And so that was a real big eye-opener for me. Again, I love how you started the call saying, people buy people. And Mark always says this is a business about relationships. And so for me, it was figuring out, what it was that I really liked. And knowing that I didn't have to be Tammy and I didn't have to be Denise, but I could take me, Lauren, the things that I enjoyed in life, the things that I liked, and I could start to make my own brand of, branding me and not branding It Works, since It Works does such a great job of branding our company and branding our product.
I like that, Lauren. Especially, I want to make sure that you guys are hearing this, because those of you on this call today are diamond and above. So some of you have gotten there overnight. Some of you, it's taken a couple years, and during that few years that you've developed your diamond business, you've done a lot of personal and professional development, and maybe you're already aware of some of this stuff. But for those of you, especially that have built your business overnight, I want to point out a couple things that Lauren is saying, because at the end of the day, a lot of people can get quite a bit of success in their business and get to positions of leadership without really having to build outside their hundreds list, and I think that's amazing. Some of you have a huge sphere of influence. That was not the case for me. So while I was reaching out to people on my hundreds list, I had to start building and networking and creating more of an influence. And social media wasn't really there, Lauren, when I started 9 years ago. But it did become a very big part of it about 5 years ago, and maybe 5-6 years ago. And so we're not saying you can't put before and after pictures up. We're not saying that you can't share the fact that there is a promotion, but that should be very little. There should be a lot about the lifestyle you're living and the dreams that you have and the goals that you have and things that are motivating and inspiring. And really, this is silly. It might seem silly to some of you, but this is an opportunity for you to really dig into and share what you are passionate about. You have a platform now to share some of your other passions. So, like Lauren, my cousin joined this business, and she loves makeup. She watches videos on makeup. She does cool things with makeup and lighting and how to make your skin look younger and to get some of the areas that you don't want shown on your face to go away. And I remember having her sit down with me and teaching me. I literally am 35 years old and don't know how to wear makeup. And I said to her, I know you're a Networks distributor, but your identity is not a Networks distributor. Your identity is you. And part of you is you love to help people do fun things with makeup. I said, why don't you do some YouTube videos? Why don't you make some posts about that on Instagram? Why don't you pin some things on Pinterest or come up with some hashtags that brand you and the fun you like to have with makeup. And you guys may hear that and think that sounds so simple. I'm not telling you to go out and learn a new hobby. I'm telling you something you're already passionate about. You guys will see me share things that I do about being a mom. That doesn't mean I'm telling you to go have kids because you got to be a mom to be successful in this business. I'm saying use what you have to your advantage to help continue to build your influence and your brand within this business model. And so, Lauren, I love what you're saying, because I think too often people just become like a literal billboard for the It Works products and before and afters, and that's not what sells in this business. It is exciting. Let people know what you do. Definitely sprinkle that out there, but don't make that all you do. That will turn people away and get people to block you in a heartbeat.
Well, and I think, too, when we're looking at that, what sets us really apart from that other distributor? Look at the people that you follow on social media. People maybe that you follow blogs, maybe you follow YouTube channels. What is it about those people? You're following their life, whatever it is they're doing, and are you a person of interest? When people go to your page, do they want to follow you? And sometimes it's a hard truth, when you look at stuff and you have to say, oh my gosh, but look at it that you could be better in those areas, and really look, if you were a stranger that was visiting your Facebook page, what does your page say about you? What story is it telling? Because facts tell and stories sell. So what story are you telling on your social media pages?
I love that. I love it. And Pastor Stephen Furtick always says, social media should be your highlight reel. It's not a place for you to share what you're upset about, who ticked you off. I would stay away from politics. I would stay away from anything too controversial or negative. There's plenty of negativity in the world. This should be your highlight reel, and people should watch your adventure, the way you are living the dream, and want to live that dream also. So they're going to want to reach out to you to learn more about what you do, because they want to live life like you. They want to have some of the freedoms. I'll never forget when it was literally posting a cappuccino machine on my Facebook that I had gotten for a birthday present, and a friend reached out and goes, I've had it. When you put that cappuccino machine, you get to make those right in your own home. I was in. I couldn't take it any longer. I got to do what she's doing because I want to have the results she's getting. And Denise, I know you. Here we are. We haven't even brought you on yet, and I know you're sitting there probably chomping at the bit to add here a little bit. Denise, you do such a good job of that, and you have branded yourself in a couple different ways. And obviously, you're a mom too. Brandon's an online marketing guru, so I know he brands himself big in that way, and it's just stuff he loves, and so he's already learning about it, so why not share tips and tricks about it? Denise, what would you say for our leaders today about this idea of branding and how you use it to help your teams build your business and for you to build your business?
Well, thank you, Tammy. I know this is a really fun topic because it's really about generating your own story. What are you about? And so some things that I recommend thinking about are what gets you excited. What about this business gets you excited? What about life gets you excited? And really work to develop your own personal mission statement. And we've done this as a leadership group before, and I have distributors who are maybe single moms, and they love being able to help other single moms. And this is a great way to have the best of both worlds. Money coming in, while you're at home with the babies, and you certainly have that flexible schedule. And so she brands herself as somebody who can work with and help single moms. So I've got people that love the health and wellness aspect of this business, and so they focus on being a health nut. Their love is gluten-free and vegan and granola. Yeah. I don't know. So they love that, and that becomes what their message is. For me, what's funny is when I first got started, I really had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what I had my hands on. I've really learned and grown in a lot of ways throughout the last 8 years. But I remember telling Brandon, maybe I should be more like Carla or Debbie or Tammy. Maybe I need to learn more about business. Maybe in order to be successful, I need to become better at something I'm not good at. And he looked at me and he goes, Denise, you are a good friend. You always call people back. You have always been like that. So just be you. And when number one, I started taking ownership of the things I already was good at, and Brandon, we started kind of branding that, just being a good friend and being somebody that people want to hang out with and somebody that people can trust and being, and that's when my business really started to thrive. Go ahead. Sorry. I spent time really thinking about what gets me excited and helping somebody step outside their comfort zone, being there when they have their good days, their bad days, the mentorship process of this business. All of that was what got me excited about It Works. And so that's where I landed, and that was the kind of brand that we set for myself. And then, of course, Brandon is his own mission. But think about yourself. What gets you up in the morning? What makes you excited not only about It Works, but about life? And then how can you work to brand that?
I love it. Denise, and I was just going to say, the fact that I love that story about when Brandon said you are such a good friend, so show yourself being a good friend. What that branding has done for you hasn't just been awesome for building your own personal business, but it's been a great way for you to use the 3 R's as you build your business. Building revenue, right? You're building new people coming on board because they want to be a part of what you're doing, and they want to be your friend flat out. Number 2, you're building retention and recognition through how you have branded yourself, because one thing you did a couple of years ago you started doing, and I learned a lot. I watched this, and I did it some, but I like how intentional you were about telling stories, success stories within your team. And so you would point out somebody that was having great success and why, and you'd tell us 3 or 4 facts about that person and what they're doing that is making them so successful, but really you were edifying them. You were recognizing them, but you were also sharing their story. And Lauren, you are so right when you say stories sell. And I think that we don't tell stories enough. And one of the things that I learned at Disney is that we should be good storytellers, and how people love to hear a good story and they get captivated with a good story. And so again, we said social media should be your highlight reel, but it should tell a story about you. And some total stranger can look through your different platforms of social media and get to know who you are, not just who you are in business, but who you are as a wife if you're married, or as a mother if you've got children, or as a friend if you're out with your girlfriends all the time, and so on and so forth. And so, Denise, I love that you did that, and then you also just show yourself out doing life, whether you're shopping or struggling with making a decision. Help me make this decision, and it just draws people into your story and what it would be like to be with you. And again, that's just part of your brand. And you guys, one of the things we wanted to point out to you on this call today is, we're not doing you any favors if we're just bringing you in and making you all little It Works robots. We know that your business is going to flourish, and you personally are going to grow so much if we teach you how to be your brand. And at the end of the day, you are an It Works distributor, but that's a part of who you are. That's not all of you. And there's so much more there to you. And that's what's going to help build your businesses as people get to know the holistic side of you. And there's no other business or job out there that allows you to be who you are and get paid for it. I'll never forget when I was feeling like, I don't have any new people to talk to about the business. Well, dang, maybe I should go join a volleyball club. I love playing volleyball. It'll give me physical fitness, and it'll help me meet new people. I mean, this business allows us to pursue the life of our dreams. Maybe that's service for you. Nikki Moore loves to give back and went on a mission trip and took a bunch of people on her team, but through that process, they met a lot of people outside of It Works, and they've since joined our business. And then obviously people watching Nikki's story have watched and seen how passionate she is about giving back, and they want to join someone like that. So there are people in this world that no matter what my story looks like will not join It Works or become a part of this awesome business opportunity because of my story. And if all of you try to be me or Denise or Lauren, they're not going to join you either because they are looking for something different that they can only get through the individuality that each of you offer. And that's what is going to keep your business booming for the long haul, not just today. And it makes it so much more fun so that we're all not taking ourselves so seriously and we're so not intense and living more balanced. And this whole idea just gets me super excited. Lauren, was there anything else that you wanted to add about this idea of branding?
Well, the one thing I know for myself is, since I had never even heard really of a personal brand prior to, getting into It Works, the way that I learned has just really been through different personal development, looking at different podcasts I love to listen to different podcasts. So, searching for different podcasts, looking at different books. And they don't even have to be specific books on branding. They can just be different books on, leadership, sales, those sorts of books that are going to be, the business, professional development books. And you can take that and you can start to apply the little nuggets that you pick up from each of, the books. But, I was just talking to, Tyler the other day, and he was talking how, billionaires are reading 2 books a week. 2 books a week, and, a lot of people, their goal is to read 2 books a year. And so, how much personal development are you doing in your life? And I think that's going to be huge. But the one thing, Denise, all 3 of us were talking before this call, and Denise, you said something in our conversation. I want you to share it because it really stood out to me when you were talking about watering, when we water things on social media.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can't take credit for this. I just did a call with Ambassador Bonnie Altrudo, and I can tell you, when you get around other like-minded leaders, I had 3 pages of notes from our call, and I was helping to lead it. So follow leaders. Get in front of people that are successful and watch what they're doing because it's working. And one of the things that she said that I adopted immediately was, number 1, when you cold message your hundreds list, you're just messaging them, you're introducing what you've got, you're telling them why you think they'd be good at this business and that you'd love to have them on the team. And then you're watering all of those seeds by just showing your passionate, positive life. People want to be around passionate, positive, successful people. And so you don't have to keep saying, are you in yet? Are you in yet? Are you in yet? You're planting those seeds and you're watering it by your own, by your Facebook page, by the fun that you're having. by the experiences that you're having, and it's working.
I love that. Exactly the way you say, because, whether you're at an expo, whether you're at a wrap party, I love playing that Facebook game, just like you're talking about reaching out to leads. I mean, think about the 10 new people you just met at that wrap party. Have them all friend you or follow you on Facebook. Play that Facebook game so that they're all connecting and you can follow up with them that way. Or, when you're at expos, put on all your materials. Find me on Facebook or follow me on Instagram or follow me on Twitter, because then you'll be able to sprinkle on them as they continue to watch your social media streams. I love that. Lauren, I was going to add, too, about blogging, because a lot of people ask me about blogging all the time, and I say, don't just blog about It Works products. Blog about what you're passionate about. I know Nathan loves to blog about this group that we're involved with called Grace Life International that talks about living under grace, not law. And that's just something that he is so passionate about. He loves to read about and learn about. And as he's sharing, he just wants to share it with other people. And so we do that through his blog. And yet, remember when I went out to the Inc. 500 and who was the social media guru guy that I got to go sit with at lunch? Lauren, you remember his name?
Gary
Vanderchuck or something like that. Yes. He's like one of the top social media gurus in the world. And we sat down with him through lunch, and he was talking about building your brand, and he was talking to even people that own a tire shop in a city. And he said, maybe you love your local football team. He's like, make a Facebook page and your brand all about your city and their football team and the Friday night games and practices and prep and summer ball. And he said, and every now and again throw in a deal on tires. And he said, just sprinkle it in there. And he said, but people are going to follow you because they know they'll get all that updates or information. And so your brand can also be something that you're passionate about following. Maybe it's clothing. Maybe, I don't know. The list is endless, and we could go on and on and on. I know that I personally like to even really build my brand around things I'm personally struggling with or things I'm personally challenging myself with. So I think what we're saying here today is that, number one, we're glad you're all in It Works. Number two, we're extremely glad to see that you're all at leadership or higher. And some of you may not be at leadership yet, and you snuck on this call today, but that's okay, because I want to commend you for just, taking the initiative. And that's why we decided to put it out there, is because we know there's people out there that are hungry to learn more about this idea of leadership and ways in which they can lead their team. But we really want to help you brand yourself in such a way that there's never a dull moment in your business. There's never a moment where nobody wants to be your friend anymore because all you do is show before and afters or talk about your business or $500 promotions, which are all great things, but they don't need to be the only thing that people see when they look at you. They need to see all of you and who you are. Gosh, Denise, Lauren, is there anything else that you guys want to add before we close out this call today?
Well, I just want to mention that your branding yourself is not just blogging. It really is your social media billboard. And I think that it's so much easier now to get our name out there and not only think about who do we want to be in the social media world, but who do you want to be in your own community. I know one of the things that Cammie does best is she joins things, and she gets out there, and people know her as the It Works scrap girl, and they know her as always having a smile on her face and being somebody that they want to hang around because of the energy that she just exudes. And so who do you want to be, not only on social media, but who do you want to be in your own local community? And I think that that's part of your brand, too. Think about what gets you up in the morning, what are you passionate about, your personal mission statement, and then how do you want to be remembered? And I think when you take some time and you really spend some time thinking about some of those ideas and developing through personal development, you're going to identify your own personal brand, and you're going to have so much fun along the way.
Ooh, I like that. How about you, Lauren? Anything else you want to add before we close out today?
Yeah, and some of this stuff might be out of your comfort zone, right? Some of you might, it might be hard for you to get out there and post some of your life on social media or getting out there and joining a new, group, volunteering somewhere. But when you look at your goals, the goals are going to be what's really going to stretch you. And so I love, whoever says, you want something you've never had, you've got to do something that you've never done. And so really make it a challenge that you're going to do that one thing that really scares you. You know, everything good happens outside of our comfort zone. So don't allow fear to paralyze you, because fear is going to rob you from your dreams and your goals and where you want to be. And remember, commercials are selling. You know, I want you to think about this word picture real quick. Why do we, fast forward our commercials on a DVR? Because we're sick of being sold. So, I mean, really get gut level, look at your stuff, and are you selling people? And are you pushing it? Are you pulling them in? People don't want to be sold. There's that new little feature, I don't know how old it is, where you can just click unfollow. So you might be friends with a lot of people, and maybe they were sick of seeing those posts, and so they unfollowed you. So really make your post of interest, and really stop the in-your-face selling.
I love it, Lauren. Thank you so much, Denise and Lauren, for joining me. I know we could literally unpack this for an hour straight, but the goal is for 20 to 30 minutes on the first Tuesday of every month. We're going to bring various topics to our leadership teams here within It Works and just really help you guys grow in this area of leadership. You know, Lauren challenged you to really start setting aside consistent amount of time every day to spend developing yourself both personally and professionally. And as much as we can bring something to you on the first Tuesday of every month, you've got to take ownership for where you want to go with this business and your own personal leadership abilities. And so dive in, find a good book. If you don't know what to read, ask one of the top 100 leaders within It Works, and we will gladly share what we're doing and what we're reading. If you're on this call, chances are you're a part of a leadership group. Ask on that page. I guarantee people are going to have some suggestions for you. As much as we teach you to plug in and reach out and ask for help, you've also got to become more and more self-governed all the time. That doesn't mean that you don't connect and network with other leaders, because at no point in time will you get to a place where you think, I'm here, I've arrived, and I know it all. But there is this ability that one needs to have to personally reach out and take control for what they need to know and areas they need to grow in personally, and connect with people that seem to be functioning at high levels in those areas that they can learn from and gather information from, and books that or podcasts that would teach that valuable information. And that's what this call on the first Tuesday is all about. So I want to thank you, Denise and Lauren, for joining me today. We will get this recording out for you to pass along to any of your team members that weren't able to join us. Mark your calendars for the first Tuesday in May at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard, and we will be joining you again with another awesome leadership topic that will help you take your business to a whole nother level. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Lauren.
Thanks, Tammy. Thanks, Denise. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys.